This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So we'll wait for 2 minutes for others to join and then we'll start our discussion. 2 minutes we'll wait and then we'll start our discussion, guys. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll get started. Once again, welcome everyone. Welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So yesterday what happened? We discussed about the course content. What are all the things that we are going to learn in this course journey. So today, day one session, we are going to actually start the content. Okay, from the beginning, we are going to start our actual discussion. So first topic is actually performance engineering introduction. Performance engineering introduction. So, so first of all, there should be a little understanding is important. Okay, introduction. We have to understand what is actually happening in the performance engineering side. Okay, so regularly you guys may be doing performance in performance testing activity. Okay, say you are testing on particular application and you are preparing the report and you are giving it to the customer. Say like you are doing a transaction, a particular transaction is actually taking more than 10 seconds. A particular transaction is actually taking more than 10 seconds. So if it is more than 10 seconds and you are submitting that report to the customer, so what response that you will receive from the customer is that why you are telling only the number? You are only telling number. The search transaction is actually taking more than 10 seconds, like that you are only providing the numbers. We want the reason for the numbers. Reason for the numbers, or how to fix the issue, optimize the issue, that kind of an explanation we are expecting. Okay, that is how customer will say. Okay, so they are not expecting only the numbers. Don't only say numbers, you tell me the reason for the numbers. Say like search transaction is actually taking 10 seconds means where that 10 second is actually spent. Okay, it's actually on the UI side or DB side, application side, where that particular 10 second is actually taken. That is what the expectation from the customer. There only your performance engineering activity is actually we are going to start. Okay, so instead of telling only the numbers, we are going to find the reason for the numbers, and we are going to apply our solution to resolve the problem, mitigate the problem, come out of the problem. So we are going to do performance engineering activity. Okay, not only we are going to say the number, we are going to tell the reason for the numbers also, that is also very very important. Okay, so performance engineering, where and all it is important, because simply if you say like a concurrent user load is actually given, okay, your system is actually very slow, and your performance testing report is actually saying so and so transaction is actually taking so and so seconds, and you are getting so many 500 errors, or so many 400 errors like that. If you are simply providing very high level information, developers cannot fix the issue. What they will expect, they'll expect you to provide the exact point, or at least provide them the root cause, where the problem started, where it has actually happened, how you identified the problem. All those things you have to provide details to the developer. Okay, if you are simply saying that there is a problem, nobody can fix it. You actually, if you go and talk to the developers in a high level reports, what they will say, this search transaction, whatever you are saying, right, this search transaction is actually having thousands and thousands of line of code, I cannot simply go and find where the problem is if you are simply telling the high level numbers. If you are giving me little more details about that problem statement, so that I can understand which team has to involve in this activity. It may be application team, it may be database team, or it may be front end team. Anybody can involve in this activity, provided the level of investigation that we are doing, the level of information that we are sharing it to the development team. That is also very very important. So that is where the performance engineering activity is actually coming. Okay, testing is simply telling you the numbers. Engineering is actually finding the root cause, trying to resolve the problem. Okay, provide your findings and recommendations. All these are actually what? All these are actually performance engineering activity. All these are performance engineering activity. Engineering activity can be of any place, right? It can be on the code, it can be on the infrastructure, it can be on the database side, anything. Provided you have to approach in such a way, you are going to find it may be related to browser, it may be related to app server, it may be related to DB server, it may be related to infrastructure, like that. We are going to identify the problem. That's where all these things are actually comes into picture. The performance engineering activities actually comes into picture. Okay, I'll take a pass here. Any question guys still? Yeah, okay. So now we have a clarity. Okay, performance testing, what we are actually doing, we are only identifying so and so problem. But performance engineering, what we are doing, we are trying to find the root cause, we are trying to resolve the problem, we are trying to provide the findings and recommendations. All those things we are going to do it in the performance engineering activity. You are engineering that, you are going to the deep level analysis. That is what the performance engineering means. Okay, so now you can understand why the need for performance engineering is actually increasing a lot. because you think in this way. Say like you are doing this activity, performance testing activity for 8 years or 10 years. Okay, 8 years or 10 years, like that you are doing a performance testing activity. Okay, you guys are 10 years experienced performance tester. Any 10 years experienced performance testers in this forum? Okay, so why I ask this question? No, whenever you are reaching that 10 years or more than 10 years of experience in performance testing, people will ask lot of questions, and their expectation will be very very high, because what they will think, say you are a 10 year or more than 10 year experienced performance tester, what you are doing differently when compared to a 3 year or 4 year experienced performance tester. That is the simple comparison that they will do, because when years are actually increasing, they are expecting more from you. In that time, if you are simply saying I will do scripting, I will do parameterization, I will do correlation, I will do preparing, I'll prepare the report and then share it to you, that is not the expectation from the end user. End user is actually expecting more from you, because you are a senior candidate, you are a high profiled candidate. So in that case, you are not, if you are saying I will only do a testing activity, the expectation will not be satisfied. So in that case, you need to do little more than that, you need to do little more than that. That's where the performance engineering is actually comes into picture. That's where the performance engineering is actually comes into picture. Okay, so all these are, you have to keep in your mind, because if you are going to focus on performance engineering activity, what you are going to do, there is a problem. How you are going to approach it, where you are capable enough to identify those problems, what are all the findings and recommendations that you are going to share, all the layers you are going to investigate it, or what, in what approach you are going to do this problem statement analysis, what are all the tool set that you are aware of it, so that you can do this performance engineering activity like that. You have to be familiar with these concepts and terms and terminologies. So that is how we are going to learn the performance engineering. Okay, I'll take a pass here. Any question, guys, still no? Okay. So, so the next important topic is actually performance engineering life cycle. So any activity that we are doing, guys, okay, I told you before the same thing. Any activity in the software side, when you are doing, there will be a life cycle. Okay, there will be a life cycle. Okay, SDLC. Okay, software development life cycle. I mean, when developers are actually doing their activity, they are also following certain life cycle. SDLC. Okay, software tester. When the software tester is actually doing certain activity, they are following certain things like STLC. Okay, software testing life cycle. Even when the performance testers, when they are doing the performance testing activity, they are following performance testing life cycle activity. Similarly, we as a performance engineer going forward, whenever we are planning to do our engineering activity, that time we have to do performance engineering life cycle activity. Performance engineering life cycle. Okay, PELC. There is I mean a starting activity, ending activity, what are all the things that we are going to do under each and every phase. There is a life cycle activity involved in this case. Okay, so there are just a minute. Okay, there are key activities that are there. I just wanted to explain so that you guys will have a clarity that okay, whenever we are getting an opportunity to do the performance engineering activity, what are all the key things that we have to follow. Okay, so I just wanted to compare this with the development activity, because there are cases your activity and developer activity hand in hand equal. So that is the reason I'm going to explain this with the SDLC comparison. Okay, software development lifecycle comparison, I'm going to do it. Even there are times people will ask why this cannot be done by developer, or what, why performance engineers has to do like that. The question will come very simple. What developers will answer in this case, they'll say, so we are doing our regular development activity, we are giving the code to the integration team, they are raising the defect and we are fixing the defect as well, and we are giving the code to the UAT tester, they are also raising the defect and we are also fixing it, and we are giving the code to the production support team to deploy it into the production. So these many activities that we are doing, that too, we are we are working for a release level activity or sprint level activity. Okay, release level activity or sprint level activity. So what they will say, we are doing all these activity, how we can focus on other activities also, like tuning, optimization and all, how we can focus on. That is the usual reply developers will say. It is obvious, right? Because traditionally if you go back, the development model is actually waterfall model. Okay, but now people are doing agile or DevOps kind of a model they are following. So when we moved to agile or DevOps model, what happened, the sprint cycle is actually very very small. The release or sprint cycle is actually very very small. They are only having 10 days or 20 days. Okay, 10 days or 20 days for the sprint level activity. So if you are having very less time, okay, 10 days or 20 days, within the time period you have to develop it, test it, move the code to the production, all those things are very very tough job. In that case you cannot expect the developer to be perfect in all the way. You cannot expect them to be perfect. Okay, so what we can do in that case? Okay, because developers are actually saying we are always busy, we are running behind timeline, we have release level activity, we have code, we have to submit to the integration team, we have to submit to the user acceptance team, lot of commitments that are there, we cannot focus on all these things. That is a response you will be getting it from the development team. Okay, actually saying till now also there are organization, there are very good enterprise level organization, what they are doing, they are having a good process, a proper process in place. Because of that, what will happen, these people will do the code review, all those things properly, code review, code maintenance and everything, they are doing it very 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 properly. Because of that they will not face any problem. Because of that they will not face any problem. Okay, I mean the organization level I'm saying. Okay, but in certain organization they are not following any process, they are not reviewing the code, they are not following any kind of a code standards and all. Because of that reason only, they are getting more of production outages, they are getting more of production outages. Okay, so typical example is one of the team where I worked on, there are 100 developers. Okay, typically the team where I worked on, there are 100 developers. Okay, 100 developers were there. And very frequently people will come in and they will go out, a new developer will come in and then they'll go out. That is the scenario usually in that application, because that's a very very heavyweight application. That application is actually a heavyweight application. Because of that, people will come in and then they'll put the papers and then they'll go out. So what happened in that organization, because of this reason, there is no process in place, there is no process in place. Okay, so the senior people, they will not give proper knowledge transfer to the junior people. Okay, who any new person, they are joining newly into the team, they will not get any proper knowledge transfer from the senior people. That is how in that team everybody they are working. Okay, So even what junior people, I mean somebody newly joined into the team, right? Even the junior people, what they are thinking in the mind, if you are keep on asking the question to the senior people, whether they will think something bad about me or what. If I am asking any silly question or unnecessary question, the senior person will think something bad about me or what, like that they are thinking. Because of that, they usually will not have a discussion with the senior person at all. Okay, so in that situation, what these junior people they started doing, the junior people what they started doing, whenever they are getting any new requirements, whenever they are getting any new requirements, what they started doing, they started giving it to, I mean they write the code like this. The junior people, they started writing the code like this. If if condition is actually working, my code will work, else my senior code will work. Kind of a blunt logic they started writing. Okay, I'm just throwing an example. So what they started doing, if a condition met, my code will work, my way of implementation will work. If not, the existing code will work, my senior code will work. Like that they started writing the application code, which is actually very very poor, very very poor way of implementation, right? Because there are times the same logic would be already available. The senior person would have written the code already. If you are not properly getting the knowledge transfer from the senior person, so you don't want to repeatedly writing certain logic, and you don't wanted to redundant code. You don't want to write any redundant code unless and until if you are not getting the proper knowledge transfer from the senior person, you cannot write a streamlined code, right? Why I am saying this example, this is how in certain organization it is actually happening. This is how in certain organization it is actually happening. So the developers, they, if the developers are actually proper, if there is any process in place, what these senior developers will do, every day when the junior person is actually doing the check in check out process, they are uploading their new code, the senior person will take the code, review the code. Once it is actually perfect only, they'll put it into the repository. If not, they will return the code to the junior person saying like, you have to tune this code or you have to optimize this code, like that. But in most of the organization this is not happening at all. In most of the organization it is actually a problem, because nobody is actually having the time to review all these things, or nobody is actually having the interaction with the junior person at all. Okay, so this is a typical example where we are facing the problem. That is a reason performance engineer is actually comes into the picture. That is the reason performance engineer is actually comes into the picture. Why? Because the primary job role of performance engineer is to optimize the application. Developers can focus on release level activity. Performance engineers, there is no release level activity. For them, the primary goal is to optimize the application performance. Primary goal is to optimize the application performance. I'll take a pause here. Any question can still now.
One question from my side.
Yes,
So,
go ahead.
am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
you are saying that for performance engineering, we need to just optimize that application and the codes and all, right? So, what my question is like, when we will be involved in performance engineering, so can't we need to do that like performance testing part?
See, that's what my next explanation, Goyal. So it is not about optimizing the code alone is a problem, right? Optimizing the code is not a final solution. Okay, the problem may be any place, right? The problem may be in the infrastructure side, the problem may be in the query, the problem may be in the browser loading, the problem may be in the application logic. Anywhere the problem will be. I'm just throwing an example that developers are actually facing the problem, that can be replaced with the performance engineers work. That is what I'm saying. Okay, it doesn't mean that every problem is actually related to code alone, right? The problem may be on any side. Even even in order to find a certain problem, you need to do performance testing. Without that, you cannot do that, right? Because concurrency also certain times problem. Say even as a developer, somebody is doing a unit testing. During the unit testing phase, they will be using only one user load to simulate certain problem statement. Because of that, you cannot simulate certain memory related, certain thread related, or certain garbage related problem and all. They cannot simulate at all. That time, no other go, you need to have the performance testing to be done. Then only you can identify the problem. So there are different approaches are there. I'm just throwing an example. Is code level problem is actually happening in certain cases. That is how I started. But problem can be anywhere going. Okay. Okay. So even in one another situation, what happened? um, it's a banking application. Okay, it's a banking application. What happened, that application was written in vb.net. vb.net. Okay, vb.net. What happened, I don't know. Initially they informed us like there is a problem for doing some calculation. Okay, that banking application, right? Every month end they will do some calculation. Full and final settlement and all they will do in the month end. What happened, they spent close to 4 to 5 days. They spent close to 4 to 5 days for completing the process. Every month it usually takes 4 to 5 days for completing that the month end process. Say what happened, they reported that issue to the top management. Top management invited, top management had a discussion with the development team that looks like some problem is there. We wanted to rewrite this application logic in ASP.NET. We wanted to rewrite this application logic in ASP.NET. That is how they decided. But what happened, they did not recruit any new developer. Who is actually aware of ASP.NET. What happened, they gave the same requirement to the existing VB.NET developer. They gave this task. Okay. So what happened? The VB.NET developers, they developed this application again. But still, even after developing that application in ASP.NET, still the application performance did not improve at all. Still, it is actually taking lot of time in completing the full and final settlement. Okay, that was the scenario. So they invited us to do the investigation. What happened, we had a discussion with multiple stakeholder, and we had a discussion with the development team and all. Finally what we came to know is that the developers, when they did the development, okay, the vb.net developers, when they did the developments, what they did, they usually google like this, uh, for loop condition for loop condition in ASP.NET equivalent to VB.NET. Select case condition available in ASP.NET equivalent to VB.NET, like that. They googled in such a way. What is available in ASP.NET which is equivalent to VB.NET, like that they searched. Because of that, what happened? They did not actually use the core capability of the ASP.NET. They did not use the core capability of the ASP.NET. They simply Googled like this, what is available, like that. Because of that, they exactly whatever available in the VB.NET, they wrote it in the ASP.NET without even optimizing or without even utilizing the native capability of the ASP.NET. So that is the reason the application performance did not improve at all. Okay, post interaction with the development team, we found this, and myself and my team, we all went and we did that assessment, and we again we wrote the script in ASP.NET, and that activity started completing in 5 to 6 hours. Okay, 5 to 6 hours. Okay, earlier it was 4 to 5 days, 5 to 6 hours within the time period it started working. So why I'm saying these things and all, because the engineering activity can be anywhere. Okay, it can be on the code level, it can be on the process level, or it can be on the infra level, it can be on the database level, anywhere, provided you have to go step by step. Okay, problem can be this way, problem can be this way, like that. You have to start your investigation, so that what you are actually trying to get it, you are trying to go little granular level. Instead of approaching it in the high level, you are going to the granular level, and you are actually finding the problem. I'll take a pause here. Any question guys still now? Yeah. So coming back to our original topic, so that is the reason the performance engineering activities are done by the performance engineers, mostly because your developers are actually committed to timelines. They have release level activity, they have lot of commitments and everything. That is the reason we are having a separate job role called performance engineers, where they are focusing on only on performance optimization and performance tuning related activities. And that will help the developer to what they can spend very little time in optimizing the issues. Instead of spending whole lot of time in doing the root cause analysis and all, they'll have a very limited time that they are going to spend it, and then they are going to resolve the problem. Clear guys, everybody clear? Okay. So yeah, for the learners who joined today for evaluating us, this is Kumar sir number. You can reach out to Kumar sir for any further information. Okay, whether anything related to course timing, course content, fees related, anything that you wanted to discuss, you can discuss with Kumar sir. 8019952427. Okay, 8019952427. Okay, so this course is actually specifically designed for weekend learners. Weekend learners means Saturday, Sunday only we are going to have the session. Weekday it's all holiday. Saturday, Sunday only we will have the session. So those who wanted to have this enrollment, so to be done, please reach out to Kumar sir for further information. 8019952427 is the number. uh, uh, all these sessions are actually recorded guys. Okay, I hope you got the uh, uh, demo video already. So every session we are recording, and we will upload this video in YouTube playlist URL. Okay, YouTube playlist URL. If there is any emergency or personal commitment, if you are missing the session also, these videos you are going to have it for lifetime access. These video you are going to have it for lifetime access. Anytime you can watch it, anytime you can bring your questions, and then we'll discuss. Okay, and all artifacts, documents, and softwares, everything we are going to share it through Google Drive. Okay, we will share through Google Drive, so that you will download, and then you will also set everything in your machine. Okay, because I told you this is a practical oriented learning. So you are going to set all these things in your, even the sample application you are going to set it in your machine. And then whatever the activity that you are doing in my machine, you are going to do it in your machine also. And if there is any problem, you can bring it on, we'll discuss as well. Okay, so it's, and also with the interview related questions also will be there right now in this demo session also. I mean, we discussed about a lot of problem statements in real world, what is actually happening. These are experience sharing, right? So that if somebody is asking in the interview, we can also explain them in such a way that yes, this is something that we know, this is how in industry the problem is actually happening, right? You can explain to them. Okay, so interview related questions also will be discussed. Industry best practices also we are going to discuss in this course journey as well. So this is actually 25 plus hours of a session. 25 plus hours of a session. So I told you Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours we are going to have the session. Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours we are going to have the session. Right now it is actually planned between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST, correspondingly in other locations. Okay, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST, correspondingly in other location. Please do the conversion of time, guys. So 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. Okay, so so every week 4 hours, and we are going to have 25 plus hours of session to complete this session. Already we started the journey, but I'm saying like we are going to have the 25 plus hours of session for learning this performance engineering concepts. Any question, guys, still no?
In the next session, we'll be seeing any demos of tools or something like that. So
Yeah,
far,
yeah.
it has been really around the background of performance engineering.
See,
Can you?
actually, Ashok, actually, the content is actually just I'll tell you. Um, we have till here it is actually kind of a theoretical only. Okay, from here the Java performance engineering concept, that too, this is also kind of a theoretical only, but when you are starting from JVM monitoring, everything is tool. Okay, JVisual, VM, JConsole, your kit, Java profiler, even heap dump, thread dump, garbage collection, everything we are going to go through the tool level understanding. So for the initial things, yes, because at least to have the ground level setting we have to do it, right? So there we have a little theoretical understanding, and then once we are jumping into this Java performance engineering or JVM monitoring level concepts, mostly it is all tool level understanding only, Ashok. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I think, I mean, that is a request received. So that is the reason we wanted to open this for the learners for evaluating us. I think from coming Saturday and Sunday, I think we are pretty much will have the only enrolled learners will be part of the group. Okay, so those who wanted to have a continuous learning without having any miss, so you can reach out to Kumar sir for any further information. From coming Saturday, we'll actually start our course content with the enrolled learners, guys. Okay. So I think if you do not have any question, thanks for the learners who joined today for evaluating us. Thanks for giving me this opportunity for share my knowledge and experience with you people. I'm going to do the same thing in the upcoming sessions also. We will do that. Thanks for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Okay.